Well, welcome everybody. Good to see everybody. Thanks for watching another episode of this. We've got another great topic this morning. One, though, that is not one that a lot of people like to talk about, but I can tell you it's something we need to talk more about. And so with us this morning is Karen Stallman. She is the Ag Resource Specialist. This is only part of her title with the SIU School of Medicine Center for Rural Health and Social Service Development. I'd like to see that on a business card because that would fill the front part of a business card, Karen. So, but it's great for you to join us. Thanks for taking some time to visit with us today.
Well, thank you, Brad. And yes, you included all of it. You got that title and it is a long one. Thanks so much.
So let's talk a little bit about the Farm Family Resource Initiative a little bit. So what is that? Give us a little bit of history of what the Farm Family Resource Initiative is and kind of how that got started.
Okay. Well, thanks again, Brad. I really appreciate some time here with your Farm Bureau members this morning. Let me begin by sharing, I'm sitting in my sunroom here at home in Randolph County. And behind me, if you could see out the windows, you'd see here on our family farm, the corn is harvested, the beans are in the bin mostly. And it's sunny out this morning. It's the farm's a wonderful place to be, just a great place to be here on the farm. But you know, farming is also a stressful place to be. And your listeners, you all know that very well, that every day there are lots of stressors here on the farm. Rural communities report a high proportion of the population with mental health illnesses, serious mental health illnesses, substance abuse, and farming is consistently ranked as one of the most dangerous jobs in the United States. In fact, they tell us it's more dangerous and more deadly than firefighting. So lots of challenges on the farm. And I'm so glad that you're giving some time devoting to this topic. So our Farm Family Resource Initiative was initiated in December of 2019. Okay. So Senator Scott Bennett, who I know for many of your listeners is your state senator.
Yes.
Senator Bennett, with his deep roots in agriculture and a strong commitment to Illinois families, he recognized the need to do something for farm families. So he introduced the legislation for the Farm Family Resource Initiative and has certainly supported it ever since. So the Farm Family Resource Initiative, and I'll just call it the FFRI.
Okay.
Yeah, it launched in December of 2019. And it was originally designed to provide resources to assist with farm-related issues that include both mental and physical health needs. And additionally, the program included community outreach, education, and training to rural clients and partners working to help improve the health and safety of farm families. And we piloted the FFRI in 6 Illinois counties that included Christian, Logan, Macon, Macoupin, Morgan, and Sangamon.
Okay.
And thanks to Senator Bennett's support and getting an increase in the state appropriation, this year we were able to expand beyond those 6 pilot counties to the 66 southern Illinois counties that the School of Medicine serves. Well, in addition, we, along with the University of Illinois Extension, are receiving funding from the Illinois Department of Agriculture. And with the wonderful support of Director Costello, we are able now to expand the FFRI statewide, so to all 102 counties in the state of Illinois. So we're really, really excited about expanding. So the initial goals of FFRI were to identify farm family needs, including mental health needs, identifying available resources for farm families, creating new resources, and developing a network of partners to respond to family needs.
Okay.
So some of the services that have been developed so far is, of course, we have a website, siumed.edu/farm. And I'll repeat that again, siumed.edu/farm. And we've done webinars, we've done blogs, we've done some trainings, but really what I would call the centerpiece of our work is that we have developed a helpline. So we have a confidential, free, 24/7 helpline that's available to farmers, farm families, farm members, ag industry people. And the helpline number is 1-833-FARM-SOS or 1-833-327-67. And if a person dials that helpline, they're being connected with a mental health professional that provides some immediate access, if it's even just someone to talk to, but somebody that can provide resources to farmers and farm families who are struggling.
Okay, so you've given us a little bit about your background, that you come from a farm, which is phenomenal. It's good to hear harvest is going well for you as well down there in the southern part of the state. What's your exact role, though? Maybe explain that. We gave the long title, but how does that fit into FFI?
Okay, so that's a good question. Yes, I do have a farm background. Worked, 2 degrees from the College of Ag at SIU Carbondale.
Okay.
Worked 20 years with University of Illinois Extension. So yes, familiar with farming and farm families and the many needs that we have. So through SIU School of Medicine, their mission really is they have a strong rural health mission to assist the people of Central and Southern Illinois in meeting their healthcare needs through education, patient care, research, and services to the community.
Okay.
And of course, serving Southern Illinois farmers or Southern Illinois University, it's really in their DNA to serve farm families. And as we expand our commitment to rural healthcare, this is another step that SIU Medicine is taking to support communities throughout the state. So as an ag resource specialist, I sometimes see my role really as being the connect the dots kind of person. So I'm helping to oversee this initiative and putting the pieces in place, but I also serve as a person to connect the dots that as you as a Farm Bureau manager and as your participants today, your farm families, your farmers, as they need access to resources, or if they're seeking out some help, I'm the resource specialist that really can help provide those resources. I gave the example of our website. We're continually adding resources to our website, and I'm constantly doing research to see what's out there. What are other states doing? I connect with other states to see, hey, what's working? What are some good resources? And we post things on the website. Later this month, we're doing a webinar on dealing with grief. That seems to be a topic that a lot of farm families are struggling with, along with other families. But so I'm really that person that connects things and kind of puts those pieces in place.
Okay, gotcha. So, all right, let's talk a little bit about mental health. What's the need out there? Are we seeing issues? What are some numbers out there that we're hearing about the challenges as we talk about mental health? It is, again, it can be devastating to families, but what are the challenges we're seeing within agriculture specifically as we talk about mental health?
So unfortunately, numbers are high. You know, we see suicide rates among rural and producers, among farmers being high. I said earlier, in a lot of the information that we receive, rural communities do report a high proportion of the population struggling with mental health issues, sometimes serious mental health issues, those suicidal tendencies. So we do see those stressors being high. And I think, Brad, a part of that is, you know, I mentioned about, yes, the farm it's a wonderful place to be, but there are stressors. There's stressors that we deal with every day. There's weather, there's fluctuation in market prices. This year we're hearing so much about input costs for next year. Right. So as farm families, as farmers deal with those issues every day and those stressors in and day out, and of course, COVID has certainly added to that. We see that being more and more difficult when you deal with stress every day, and how you're able to cope with stress and how you're able to deal with those kinds of issues and those kinds of concerns that are coming at you, especially now during harvest in the spring at planting time. So we see warning signs, we see that those issues increasing. And so as Senator Bennett identified, it was really a time to do something to help Illinois farm families.
Right. So you've talked about how, for maybe a lack of a better term, if I'm listening to you, you're almost a liaison between the School of Medicine and Agriculture specifically. Who else are your partners when we talk about this effort?
Well, Brad, we could do nothing without our partners. So we collaborate and partner greatly. We have an advisory council. So our ag industry partners are, of course, Illinois Farm Bureau, the Illinois Department of Agriculture, University of Illinois Extension. The advisory council meets monthly, and that is made up of ag industry partners like Farm Credit, like Extension, like the Department of Ag, like Farm Bureau. And we meet monthly to identify what are the needs, what can we be doing, what else can we be doing, how else can we expand the FFRI effort. So I gave you an example a while ago of talking with other states and what they're doing. One of the things that other states have found effective is, along with their helplines and hotlines, to add a text and an email option. It's hard for people to pick up the phone and talk to a stranger about things that they're struggling with. So that's one of the things that we're looking at, that our partners have provided input and have indicated, yes, why don't we look at adding a text and an email option to our helpline? So we're in the process of doing that. So we rely so heavily on those ag industry partners.
Right. So you talked a little bit about some of the services that there's not only like hand material or hard copy material, there is some training, but really the focus is that hotline number, correct? Is that how you would say that that's kind of the focus, or the kind of the biggest effort was to get that hotline established, which is 833 Farm SOS. So when an individual calls that, and again, this is open to any farmer, anyone involved in agriculture, correct? This isn't just, you said you're now all 102 counties, so it's open to anyone, correct?
It's open to anyone. So that could be you, Brad, as a Farm Bureau manager, that maybe you've connected with a farm family that you see is struggling and could use some help, and maybe you would reach out to the helpline and say, how could I help? What could I do? It could be a farmer that's struggling. It could be a farm spouse is struggling. It could be a child of a farm family that's struggling. So when you call the helpline, and again, it's 24/7. So if I'm on a Saturday night feeling like I just can't deal with it anymore, I've got to have somebody, I need somebody to talk to. If you pick up the phone, then you're talking to a mental health professional at our call center in Springfield, and that person will provide some immediate crisis intervention, kind of assess the situation, and then provide resources. If that's a resource that needs immediate help, we're also expanding. I mentioned the text line, I mentioned the email. We're hoping that's very soon. We're also going to be offering free telehealth counseling sessions. So if a caller calls in and would like some free follow-up opportunities as an individual or as a family to talk with a counselor, through the SIU School of Medicine, there will be professional counselors that will provide up to 5 free counseling sessions. So we're also adding that telehealth in. And just like your listeners can look at that on their phone today in the combine or wherever they are. The telehealth sessions are designed to be just that way on a mobile device or on a computer.
Right.
You could be talking with a professional counselor and getting some additional help.
And that could be really, really advantageous at telehealth. That sounds complicated when we talk about technology, but oftentimes, from my understanding, some of the barriers that individuals don't want to go get help is they don't want to be perceived that they need the help, or don't want to be seen going into a counselor's office or something. And there's that fear, where this can be at the comfort of your home. It can be in the privacy, obviously, of your home, your shop, wherever you may be. It's that privacy, it's the confidentiality. The point is individuals that need it have an opportunity to take advantage of this, and this is a great resource that you're offering, especially with that follow-up.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Brad, especially in the farming community. That stigma of, hey, I'm in a small community, my truck is parked at the counseling center, everybody knows why I'm there, everybody, and that stigma makes it very, very difficult. And so by adding in this telehealth, and yes, technology is a little bit scary, but we'll try to make it as least difficult as possible, where I would have the opportunity to pick up that phone, just like you and I are doing over Zoom, and being able to connect with a counselor. If it's me and my farmer husband, if it's me and the kids all around the table, be able to connect with that counselor and get some help if we're struggling.
Right. Well, as we wrap up, Karen, I want to hit on one last thing that you touched on, because I think that's important. This isn't just also the individual. Sometimes that individual is not going to want to get the help. We in agribusiness, including Farm Bureau, but others, even outside of the family, there's some, you could argue, some responsibility that we have to help identify and have a role in help identifying maybe that need. That could be the individual that works with them at the grain elevator, maybe spot something that's, man, they're just really off, and it's been off for not just today. They're having a bad day, because all of us have bad days, but it's been building to a time where they just seem a little bit off, or their banker. Talk just very briefly as we wind down here a little bit how that role is that agribusiness and as well as the family have in helping to identify that need that's out there.
You're exactly right. That could be you as the Farm Bureau manager. That could be somebody at Farm Credit. That could be a clergy person. That could be somebody at the grain elevator. Like you say, something is off, something isn't right. This person or this family is struggling. And often we see that stress among the entire family. Maybe it's your ag in the classroom person that sees it, a child that's struggling. So, you know, to be able to offer help, saying, I'm here for you. Do you need someone to talk with? Is there anything I can do? And I think a key to that is to listen. You know, communication is so important, and to listen non-judgmentally. How often do I hear, well, that he doesn't have anything to be depressed about?
Right.
That is not the situation. We all deal with things differently. So anybody can identify that somebody is struggling. That's an opportunity to call the helpline. That's an opportunity to look at the website and see if there's something, a resource there that you can access. We do webinars. We've got a webinar coming up specifically about how to help those in need, how to identify those in need. And those things are all posted on our webinar, and are all posted on our website. I'm sorry. And just to get the help that you need, and to see what resources. There are so many resources out there to help, and try to identify someone that's needing help and encourage them to get help. If it's something they can't do on their own, then maybe it's you reaching out for them.
Right. Well, let's wrap this up, Karen. So I'll say the phone number. You've got the website. The phone number, very serious, folks. You need to know this phone number. You need to remember this phone number, 833-FARM-SOS. If you want even more information, Karen, the website is
siumed.edu/farm farm. And you can always just Google Farm Family Resource Initiative. I've Googled FFRI.
So everybody, thanks for joining us today. Thanks for being a Farm Bureau member. I hope you take this very serious. This is a very serious subject that is out there. We hope you think about this. And if you know of someone, whether it be in your family or a friend or a neighbor, take advantage of these resources. Karen, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Brad.